California Spring Trials is Fashion Week for our industry, or maybe you can think of it like the auto show. A chance to see many of the coolest new products available for upcoming seasons. Dozens of global breeding companies and innovative plant introduction companies set up along the California coast in early spring to showcase new crops that have been in development for years, even decades. New series, additions, upgrades, and sometimes brand new plants are grown out and discussed in detail for the better part of a week to drive interest from visiting growers, retailers, and distribution companies. It's also a time to catch up with old friends, solidify strategic partnerships, and revel in the beauty created by our industry. We've done this for decades and we'll do it again in 2026 from March 24th to 27th. Registration is managed by the National Garden Bureau and you can sign up to secure your spot at caspringtrials.us. In fact, registration is essential. A quick reminder before we get started. New for this year, if you're visiting a location with more than one exhibiting company, like most of them, registration by location means you register for all companies when you schedule your appointment at caspringtrials.us. But be sure to allocate plenty of time for stops with multiple companies. One click doesn't mean one quick visit. Take, for example, the Head Start Nursery Stop or the Santa Barbara Polo Club. You can register for the location, but you'll need to allocate time for all of the exhibiting companies, and that can mean as many as 100 new varieties. Last but not least, check out the suggested itineraries at caspringtrials.us. If 2026 will be your first time visiting the trials, or you haven't been in a few years, they will be very helpful. Let's hear about some of the things you'll see and experience at Spring Trials this year. I'm your host, Bill Calkins, and today, as part of our Spring Trials preview mini-series, I am here with April Herring-Murray and Sarita Cantu from Pacific Plug and Liner to hear what the company has in store for us this March. This is going to be a quick conversation, but hopefully it inspires you to register and start thinking ahead as you plan your crop mix for the future. April, Sarita, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Bill. Happy to be here.
Excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, every trial location is unique, and you guys probably put the capital U in unique. I mean, your location at the polo fields and the way you guys at PP&L do trials is certainly above and beyond and amazing, and we always look forward to it. But can you tell the listeners where your company is located on the tour and how you describe the general vibe of your stop? And if you want to tease a theme at all, I'd love to hear what you guys are working on.
Okay. Well, we are PP&L. We used to have our own stop at our own location, but it was just too much during the busy spring season. It's like, can you guys move all your stuff out of the way, your shipping and stuff, so we can set up the show? So now we are with Plant Haven at the Polo Field in Santa Barbara, which is a beautiful location. We love it because the field is just pristine. So it's an easy backdrop for the plants to shine. And normally the weather is very nice. So especially for those of us that are in wintry climates, it's like, oh yeah, Santa Barbara, I'll take it. But yeah, so the vibe is like you get there and it's this beautiful field and there's multiple breeders there. So be sure to book enough time because actually in 2026, we have 2 new groups adding into the polo ground. So we want everybody to make sure they know that so that they book enough time to see all the cool stuff. So yeah, because we have Plant Haven, of course, is the anchor that they're taking care of the location there. We've got Suntory, we've got Vivero, and then we've got PP&L. I'm walking down the line, making sure I don't miss anybody. We had the PDSI with their branded programs, Sunset, Southern Living, Encore Azalea, to name a few. And then we have Green Trade Horticulture. And then new for 2026, we have the Global Plant Group, which is multiple companies like Cohen, Hishtel, Geldetti, and I think there's a few other ones. And then also, last but not least, we'll have Walter's Garden. So it's a big location. So definitely don't want you to miss it. There's so much to see, so much diversity of product from annuals to perennials to just, unique specialty items. So definitely, and it's a great location to spend a lot of time because the Polo Club also, they have like the restaurant where you could have lunch there. So that's our location. Very unique, beautiful, and lots of different products to see there.
You should probably plan for like half a day.
Yeah, at least half a day.
At least half a day. Yeah,
yes.
You could probably spend a whole day.
I was thinking that with the addition of Walters and Hishtel, Geldetti, Cohen, like we're going to need multiple hours. And you're right, the diversity of plant material is fantastic. I mean, you're going to have herbs and edible crops there as well this year, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, all the flowers. I mean, it's absolutely going to be a stunning sight.
Yes.
So what about, I mean, do you guys have a theme in mind? I know that, in the past, you guys have really been pretty awesome with your themes, and we have a lot of fun with them.
Well, there is a theme in mind. Too bad this is not a video, Bill, because you'd get a little bit more. I'm more
Are you passing on the left?
But wait a minute, let me do a sound for you. Hold up. So if you're familiar with what this is, you'll kind of know what our theme is between that bell sound and that ticking sound.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine we need to put a bike rack on our van this year.
You might. I mean, hey, California's a great place to go on a tour, maybe of some flowers.
For sure.
So I think that would give you a little hint to what our theme is going to be. And it's something that I love to do. Sarita likes to do as well. So, and we're going to make it fun. There might be some contest involved, little friendly competitions. So just to snazz it up a little.
I'm in.
And we might even do a little prequel, like leading up to cast, some interesting digital or virtual, I would say, leading up to cast. So to give you
this is good. I can't wait. I will encourage the listeners to keep your eyes open for what PP&L is doing, because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
And speaking of fun, let's look back to last year a little bit. Last year, you guys, I mean, your theme was awesome. But if you were to look across all the different plants that you guys introduced, what was one big hit from the 2025 trials? And you can think about it from a sales perspective, from maybe both of your favorite flowers, however you want to look at it is great.
Well, there were so many good items, and so it's hard to pick, but definitely I thought last year our lavender looks fantastic. We had the Plum Power and the Voltage Violet just in their perfect prime condition. And that really caught a lot of attention. Those are both Spanish lavenders. And of course, we always have our hellebore. And I know people are like, oh, there's hellebore again, but they always look fantastic. The one that caught people's attention, because I was just like, what in the world? I've never heard this genus before. It was the Anisodontia. Mm-hmm. It's like a mallow, kind of in the hibiscus family crop. And that one really caught people's attention as like, oh, this is something we've never seen. So we do try to bring, it might be items that you're familiar with, like lavender, but then we try to throw in some really unusual things too that we might have up our sleeves in our trials area. We have a large trials area here at PP&L. And so we're trialing things from all breeders all around the world. And sometimes things you're like, wow, that looks really good. We should showcase it at CAST to give that item a little bit more attention. So those are some of the items. What about you, Sarita?
Well, the Voltage Violet was one of my favorites. And what was unusual is the Ensetti, right? That was there.
The Musa Everred.
The Everred was really popular, and it was huge and beautiful.
And what people might not realize with that Everred is it is zone 5 hardy.
Yeah, it's really hardy. Mm-hmm. And I talked about that a lot, and a lot of people were they loved it because it looked gorgeous, and then they were excited about it because it is zone 5 hardy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That one. I love the primulas too.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
The perennial primula program. Say that really fast.
Perennial.
The perennial primula program, including Pollyanna and Pretty Polly.
At Pacific Plug and Liner. Showcase at the Polo Club.
Yeah. So that program, we'll have some new varieties shown in 2026 for that program, but it's been a lifelong breeding project of David Curley and his son Tim Curley in the UK there. And it's just so exciting to showcase items from these small breeders and, being able to represent their product here in the US at California Spring Trials. And so, they have the double primulas, very hardy, like zone 4, I think maybe even zone 3. But they have the short ones, the ballerinas, then a little bit taller, the Pollyannas, and then the Pretty Pollies, which are like jumbo primulas. And those are like I'm like, wow, those are really cool to have such a jumbo primula.
And the way you guys display all these different products is super inspirational, because you don't expect to see a primula by a hellebore And that's not the way a lot of different companies think. So I love the
Right.
way that you guys mix it
Oh,
up.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, it does take some work, I'll tell you that. I mean, just to like, okay, what all can we plant? Like right now, we're here looking at the plants now for CAST 2026. Like we do, we have our highlights, but then we do some filler items too, just more so showcasing that PP&L, we not only grow these special items, but we also grow everything in between. It's like from the hellebores to the cordylines, but then we're growing, heucheras and grasses and stuff. So just kind of showcasing our diversity. Yeah, ferns, hostas. So showcasing our diversity. And also, yeah, we love giving people inspiration, like showing how plants can go together. And it doesn't have to be just in lines and rows, that it can be, especially at these retail garden centers, giving consumers inspiration, like, oh, that's more of a garden-y look, or I can put these containers together and, make a nice patio representation. It can be a combination of annuals. It could be herbs, annuals, and perennials in a container. Just, yeah, get crazy.
It's so true. It's so true. And you actually just touched on my next question, which is about what it takes to put on an event like this. And you mentioned that you guys are out right now we are in December. You're already looking at plants. You're already thinking about it. And I'm guessing you probably started a lot earlier than this. So what does it take for your team to put on an event like this? And what do you think visitors will gain from attending your site in specific? And I'm thinking like, let's encourage people. If you haven't come to spring trials for a few years, it is time to come back because there's a lot going on.
Well, it does take a small little army I feel like we're like a small retail nursery in the back. We're growing so much product. And we really, we're starting right after the cast is over the previous year, because we do bring some specimen plants that are older, so they're multi-year old. But then the perennials, because we overwinter them here in California, we're planting the cuttings and stuff, as early as July, August, and then potting up items. The big bulk of everything is potted up in about week 38 to 40 to give it a bulk and then to overwinter here. Because we do all of this work, we gain a lot of knowledge on these products because we're growing them ourselves. We're not just a young plant producer producing plugs and liners. We are getting experience finishing the items. What we also do is we do record some of the data. Like I'm taking pictures, like, oh, okay, this lavender at this time of like I'll take it when I come visit here at PP&L. In December, it looked like this. In January, it looked like this. February, it looked like this. So we use that also for product sheets and stuff like that for our customers to have more information on that product. So for growers or any brokers coming to the spring trials, we encourage to come to our location because you'll learn a lot about many, many products. And there's a lot of knowledge at PP&L that, between myself and Sarita, and then we have our sales team and our customer service, that there's a lot of people know about these products and can help, if you have questions, but just seeing the diversity of the things that we have grown, and we can give you more information even on the spot because we have everything labeled, like when was it planted, how long did it take, did we pinch it, all of those things. So I think that's the thing that we can bring to the table by visiting CAST, the diversity of new product, but then also realistic, this product is grown in a realistic way. We're not shoving 20 liners into a pot to make a fancy looking plant. So,
and I think that what you said about having access at an event like spring trials to, a full team, a support team from breeding companies and plant introduction companies, you don't get that generally. You're talking to one person here, one person there, but having the full team behind the products and the programs does give a great opportunity to ask questions and to learn. I think that's a really good point.
Well,
so for the question that I think the question that everyone's tuning in for, you want to shout out a few of the new varieties we can expect to see in March?
Yes. Can you hear us? Are we still on? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good. Our computer, it says trying to reconnect. I was like, it's not.
No, you're good.
Okay, good.
You're good.
Let me think. New product wise. So there's definitely, we'll be highlighting a new euphorbia that might go winter dormant. So it's supposed to be more cold hardy. We showed it a little bit last year, but this year we want to really highlight it because it was just barely in production last year. And then possibly, depending on how it's behaving, we might be showing a variegated lavender, which is super hardy as well. So there's some new cool products that we're looking at that are very hardy. So I'm excited about that because oftentimes, California companies are like, look at this perennial. And it's like, that's not really a perennial in most places.
Exactly.
So yes, we do have some very cold hardy items that we're looking to showcase. But on the one issue with some of those is because they go dormant. It's like, will they be awake in March? So that is another part of the trickery. Like we were talking about some of that, like how do you put on this event? It's like, okay, well, we got to put these plants under the lights. We're going to put these plants in the cooler and, just some of the things just to get them all blooming and perfect on that 1 week. So those are 2 plants that we're looking at. And then there's I keep walking around because we've been just getting all kinds of plants, trialing them. So we don't always necessarily, because we're a propagator, we don't necessarily have a line, a set, this is what we're releasing. We're a little more flexible that way. In that we trial a bunch of things and then we're like, you know what, this is actually looking pretty good. So maybe we should showcase it at CAST because it's ready to go. It has production behind it. So there might be a few surprises that come of some of the new items that we're looking at. And then we also have a few interesting more California type of plants that we might show behind the curtain.
Okay.
Because they're not necessarily ready to go, but we want to get some idea if there's some interest on them to move forward. Because that's the other thing. It's like you don't want to just invest a lot of time and money into a product and then find out that nobody's interested. So those are some of the items that we're looking at. I'm trying to think if there's any other hints. I mean, we'll have new colors of hellebore and some of the primulas. We're always rolling out new colors. And we might have a new Spanish lavender with a unique colored blooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
there's lots
you guys
more,
have a lot
those
going
are
on.
some of the things that are in my head right now. Like, okay, yeah. So
that's cool. And I do think you do have the unique, I guess, role of being a propagator and then finishing these plants for trials. And I remember talking to you in the past about how that does give you this really, yes, perspective on the production, how to produce this for retail, basically. And I know that you have a lot of signs and boards that you hold up showing the different stages in production. So I definitely would encourage our listeners to make sure you stop at PP&L and ask those hard questions about real world production because they will have answers for you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and that's true. I mean, we are pretty much see the product from start to finish, because we're getting in the inputs, we're planting them as liners, and then we are finishing the product. So yeah, we have a lot of experience. And we're not just trialing product as finished, we also do finish production here on site for our parent company. So we have that experience as well.
That's true. That's awesome. Well, I think it all sounds fantastic. I love the theme. I think I can figure it out, and I think I better start putting in some miles. I better start putting in some miles here in my basement indoors this winter, so I'm ready.
That's right. You might see a new virtual team being created, and we might have some virtual meetups.
This definitely sounds good. We'll get on Zwift. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in March and April. Sarita, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And for the listeners, now is the time that you head over to National Garden Bureau's registration site at caspringtrials.us. You'll find a link in the show notes. Get registered. And PP&L is a perfect example of why you need to bring multiple people to spring trials, because with all this diversity of plant material, everybody has a different eye. And you might miss something that one of your coworkers spots that could be the next big thing. And don't forget to subscribe to the Tech on Demand podcast on your favorite app. That way you will never miss an episode.